starting lineup. First for DeSoto, leading off number 6, first baseman Blake Coleman. Batting second, number 17, Trey Blair. Pitcher number 24, Connor Heister. Center fielder number 10, Brendan Young. Second baseman number 5, William Weber. Third baseman number 2, Remington Hogan. Shortstop number 7, Connor Casey. Left fielder number 12, Braxton Drummond. Right fielder number 4, Brennan Drummond. And catcher number 8, Levi McCullough. On the line for your St. Genevieve Dragons, leading off, center fielder number 23, Noah Willett.
All right, so St. Gen coming in today, as we said, having some different changes in the lineup due to some injury, trying to make do with the loss of Jeremiah Bird at second base as they move Devin Fly over to right field, as he's got a DH for him, and bringing in the youngster Trenton Warner over at second base to replace Jeremiah. Luke Ferrano will be on the mound today with Bosler behind the plate. And we'll be back in a minute after we get done with the national anthem. All right, we're getting ready to play ball here. So wind's blowing out the dead center, about 16 miles an hour if I had to guess. And St. Gen looking to try and add another win to the column here at the end of the season with their last home game. Again, St. Gen coming into the game 11-8 against the Desoto Dragons, who are 12-12. St. Gen is 8-2 at home right now and looking to finish strong with their 12th win going into districts on Friday. Luke Ferrano on the mound. See what he can do. So as I said, historically, St. Gen and DeSoto has played a number of times. St. Gen leads their battles 13-9 overall and 2-1 in postseason as the season starts to wind down. And when I say the season, I'm talking about all seasons. Looking back right now, congratulations to the class of 2025 on their graduation here at St. Gen. They just recently graduated last Saturday. Probably enjoyed their week this week, probably maybe sleeping in. Maybe some of them are conditioned not to, but lots and lots of stuff to brag about there. And looking at the ceremony that they had Saturday, had the opportunity to walk and be there, and Dr. Boyd was there, presented and stuff. He actually had a number of good things to say about some of the faculty along with the students. Kenny Rapp, he gave him some pluses on his woodworking students. They basically designed and produced these special awards that were distributed during the graduation ceremony, which is unique and pretty cool. And his students definitely need a pat on the back for that. And then Mr. Roth, he runs the school development seminar class, and basically in that they do a lot of additions all over the school. And they unveiled a new academic wall. It was created to basically honor graduating seniors, student scholars, hopefully for years to come. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, students, of course, they're the ones doing all the design on the commemorative graphic displays behind the scenes. And if you come to our school or you come to the gym or you're out and about, you're going to notice them. as it's going to be a more aggressive thing with the kids changing them out and bringing their style and their opinions and I guess flavor to the school, making them a little more hands-on and making the school more theirs. So lots of like real-world applications out there going on at the school, and you know these kids can take some of that stuff and out into the real world. So hats off to those guys. So starting right now, number 6, Blake Coleman for Desoto Dragons, the lefty, first baseman. Starts to count at 0-2 as Ferrano gets ahead. And that's a ball high. Count goes to 1-2 with no outs. Top of the first, Luke Ferrano on the mound as Blake Coleman, the first baseman for DeSoto, digs in. And the pitch fouled off. So Coleman kind of getting a beat here, fouling a bunch off, looking to try and get on base and be a good leadoff for DeSoto, maybe get them early runs. St. Jen got other ideas because they're sporting the whites today. Ferrano from the mound, goes, and fouled off again as Coleman hangs tough. Ferrano usually pretty accurate, gets ahead of the batters a lot of times. Nice, smooth, rocking motion, just brings it right in there. Ferrano shakes off the sign. He got what he wants, tries to throw an off-speed pitch, ball high, and the count goes to 2-2. So with deuces on the board and no outs, Ferrano's going to try and dial something up here for Coleman. Pretty good crowd on a Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday soon to be evening, and strike 3 as Ferrano throws one on the outside half. Coleman goes fishing, misses, and that's out number 1. That'll bring up number 17, Trey Blair. He's the DH for the DeSoto Dragons. So good start here. See if they can keep the momentum going. Ferrano from the windup and the pitch. Ball high. Bowser with a quick snap back to the pitcher. Bowser with a pretty good arm back there. Ferrano from the windup goes again. Ball high again. So 2-0. Good count for the DH here. Number 2 batter. Ferrano's going to have to put something in there, though. The delivery, pretty close, but I guess it was low, and that's ball 3. So with 3-0, you would think the coach might give him the take here so he could get a runner on, and that's right down the heart, strike 1. So down 3-1 count, 1 out, top of the first. Welcome if you're just joining us. Ferrano from the windup delivers. Strike 2, so Ferrano works his way back, full count. So something's got to give on this pitch here, 3-2 with 1 out. Trey Blair, the batter, the DH for DeSoto. Hammers one to left field. It's up, though, and caught by the left fielder. He didn't have much room or time to really think about it. That ball was ripped, but good catch there by Sutton, and that's out number 2. So, again, more good defense for St. Jen as they bring up the number 3 hitter, Connor Heister. Heister is the pitcher today for St. Jen, so you see a battle of attritions here with the 2 pitchers going at it. And the number 3, he likes to stand pretty deep in the box, it looks like. So giving Ferrano his respect. Ferrano goes in the windup. Curveball. Says outside. Good location, though, belt high. That ball 1. So Ferrano from the windup again. Delivers a pitch, ripped in the gap, and that ball's going to fall, and there's going to be some extra bases there. Nice job by the center fielder getting it in really quick. Willett gets there fast as that ball just carried and carried. 1 hop off the fence. So good piece of hitting there by the pitcher in the number 3 spot, and that brings up the number 4 hitter, Brendan Young. Brendan Young's the center fielder for the DeSoto Dragons. As Ferrano gives up his first hit of the day, and it's a big one. So DeSoto's got something happening here with a man on second and 2 outs. Ferrano checks the batter, or the runner, and the ball's hit up in the air, foul to the right side into the parking lot. And Ferrano gets ahead, 0-1. So the runner moves away here from second. Not too bad, though, as they keep him in check. Ferrano checks him out. Goes to the plate on a curveball. Nice pitch. Bosler fakes the throw and strike two. So with the count 0-2, 2 outs, Young's going to have to protect the plate here. Ferrano doesn't have to be too accommodating with his pitches now. And the delivery, another curveball down low, and that's strike three. And we're out of the top of the first as Ferrano sends Young the chair. Going to the bottom of the first. Score is 0-0 as St. John gets their first crack at DeSoto offensively. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the bottom of the first here as St. John's going to get their first crack offensively at DeSoto. Maybe they could strike first against the pitcher, Connor Heister. St. John's leadoff today is going to be Noah Willett. Willett batting 188 for St. John right now. Looking to try and get on as the leadoff. Looking at some of the things for St. John right now, a couple shout outs here. Jolie Parker was signed with a national letter of intent to compete on the volleyball team at the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy at the end of her year. So nice job to Jolie Parker as she goes to represent her former team, St. Genevieve, or her former school, as she extends her athletic career and education career at the college level. So great job on her part. That brings up Noah Willett, number 23. Willett batting 188 right now. Has 3 RBIs on the season right now with 6 walks. He's kind of feast or famine with 14 strikeouts, but he's a free swinger, so he won't get cheated at the plate as he goes against the right-handed Connor Heister. Heister from the windup and the delivery. Curveball, strike one. So Willett watching the first pitch there go in, trying to get comfortable here. Heister from the windup here and the delivery. Another curveball, swung on and fouled. Strike two, so he getting ahead early as he likes to throw the junk. And count goes to 0-2 with no outs. Bottom of the first. Wind blowing straight out to center field. The pitch fouled off by Willett. And the count remains the same. Eaton Otten's on deck for St. Genevieve. He will follow Willett after we find out what he does here. The delivery and frozen rope. Strike three, and down goes Willett. And DeSoto picks up their first out. So Ethan Ottens, number 29, the shortstop, batting .240 on this season right now. Has 9 RBIs. And and 17 walks, so he likes to get on base, and that's what St. John needs right now, some base runners here. Make something happen. And fastball up high. As Ottens watch that go up. Ball one. St. John does some of their best work when they manufacture their runs being aggressive. The delivery, and that ball's hit up in the air real high to second base. First baseman calls it off. He makes the catch, and out number 2. So 2 pitches down, and that brings up Luke Ferrano. Ferrano, the best hitter right now, with 361 on an average, 8 RBIs, 2 walks, but only 2 strikeouts. He puts the ball in play a lot of times and makes good contact. Ferrano earlier this season was battling back for some injuries. Pretty healthy now. And the pitcher delivers. And Ferrano goes down and hits one to right field. It's kind of floating, and the right fielder catches it. So 1 pitch and gone. And down goes St. Genevieve. 1, 2, 3. So after first inning, St. Gen and Desoto both 0-0 as we go to the top of the second. And Desoto Dragons in the middle of the lineup will battle Ferrano on the mound. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome to the top of the second. DeSoto Dragons go to the plate here. And that's going to bring up number 5, William Weber. Weber, the second baseman, will lead off for the DeSoto Dragons as Ferrano gets to see him for the first time today. Ferrano from the windup and the pitch. Curveball hit hard, may fall into the gap, and it does in front of Fly. Fly easily grabs it, but not before it falls, and that's a base hit. So DeSoto on the board here, looking to try and punch in a run. And that brings up Remington Hogan, the third baseman, number 6 hitter. Get a look here at DeSoto and how aggressive they're going to be on the base path. Could bunt this ball. He shows it, misses. Snap back to Bosler. Bosler gets him at first, and he's out. So what was supposed to be a bunt play, the batter missed it, and the runner just got caught sleeping a little bit, thinking that ball was going to get down, and Isaiah Bosler, as always, with a good arm, just snaps it right back to first base, throws him out, and that's out number 1. So once again, the defense plays in as Ferrano from the windup on an 0-1 pitch delivers, and that ball smoked down the left field line, foul. Give credit to the batter there. He had to go up high and swing at that and stayed on top of it. So Hogan now at an 0-2 count with 1 out, top of the second. Finds himself a little bit in a hole. Ferrano on an 0-2 pitch, delivers. Nice curveball. And inside. Count goes to 1-2 with 1 out. Ferrano looks like he's spotting the ball. Another good curveball. Got the hitter out in front here. Let's see what he comes back with on the 1-2 pitch. So DeSoto trying to get another runner on base after getting their leadoff thrown out. The delivery, that ball's ripped to left field. And again, right at Ottens, who makes the catch. Crazy. Ball was hit well, but it's just hanging up there right now. Or I'm sorry, for Sutton. Sutton makes the grab, the second grab today in left field, and that ball just hung up there even though it was hit hard, and not much movement there for the left fielder. Just stand there and let it come to him. And Ferrano digs in and strike one on the next batter. Batter up is number 7, Connor Casey, the shortstop. So with 2 outs, Casey trying to get on here. Ferrano throws another curveball, and he gets ahead 0-2. So definitely in charge of his junk today, as he is throwing it all over the place for strikes and getting him to swing and go after it. We'll see if he can keep the momentum going up into the middle innings. So 0-2 count with 2 outs. Ferrano delivers. Ball up. Nice looking crowd today. As the school season winds down, Ferrano delivers right to the rookie freshman there, and Warner gets it cleanly, throws him out, and that's out number 3. So St. John gets out of the inning. No runs after a leadoff single. And we go to the bottom of the second. Score is 0-0. St. John comes to bat. We'll be back in a moment. All right, coming back to the bottom of the second, St. John going to try and test their fate here and see what they can do at the plate. Another shout out to St. Genevieve High School senior, Mason Lagernick. He signed a national letter of intent to compete on a wrestling team at Williams Woods University. So Lagernick basically is going to continue his wrestling career in college as well as academics into the future from St. John. So congratulations there to Mason. And that's going to bring up number 2, Justin Schwagert. Schwagert batting .208 right now, but definitely an aggressive swinger and does pretty well when things are on the line. Need a good leadoff here. Schwagert looking to, even though he doesn't have the highest batting average, he has 13 walks and pretty good at getting on as he goes 2-0 here. So with 2-0, he can really look for a fastball down the pipe, something he could drive here if he wants, or he could just let it roll. There's the fastball. He gets fisted, but it's going to fall, and that's going to get something started for St. John as Justin kind of jogs around first, knowing that it's going to flop, and that's going to get something started here as we're in the bottom of the second with no outs, and Justin gets on here. So that brings up Isaiah Bosler, the catcher. Isaiah, another free swinger, batting 156 right now. But looking to make some contact unless coach gives the bunt sign, and he lets him swing, and ball outside. So Heister, the pitcher, having a little trouble getting in the zone here. Justin leads away from first, nothing too big, and he looks like he's going to go. Then he pulls up, and that's ball 2. So maybe he's giving the pitcher a little bit of, from the side view, trouble there, thinking he's going to throw. And now the count's 2-0. Bowser can really dig in here. Justin leads away, and he hammers it. This ball may get down, and it does, and that's 2 back-to-back hits. Good piece of hitting by Bosler on a 2-0 pitch. Nice, easy swing, and now we've got 2 men on with no outs, and you almost think that Coach McDaniels has to give the bunt sign here to get both men over. Well, that's going to bring up Bennett. Bennett In my opinion, the utility player, he'll do what you ask. Anything to help the team out. And as such, I got a feeling that may be happening here. Bennett, the first baseman, digs in, batting .212 right now. Let's see if he gets a sacrifice. So infield's in on the corners. He's showing bunt. And curveball in. Uh-oh, we got a little problem as we're hung up on both ends. And looks like Schweigert is stuck between second and third, and that's going to be out. So both players leading off from the bunt kind of has a similar situation that happened last inning where the bunt was missed and the runner got caught too far off the bag. And basically they traded an out for a player at second base. So now we'll see what Coach McDaniels has. I wouldn't say he needs a bunt with one out. Bennett just needs to put something in play here to the right side. So the count's 0-1 with one out. St. John makes a base running error. And Isaiah Bosler ends up on second. And Bennett takes a second strike. 0-2 count with one out. Bennett looking to try and get on. The delivery, ball low. So Eli takes his first ball. Heister pretty consistent. And there's definitely a difference in his off speed and fastball. So if he's got you guessing, he might catch you. Bosler on the leading away from second. It's Heister to step off the mound for a second as he takes his foot off the rubber. Now he gets back from the stretch. Bosler leads away. The delivery. That ball's drilled right at the third baseman. And boy, oh boy, nice piece of hitting there by Bennett as he rips one straight to third, and it was caught immediately. Bosler could have been thrown out, but he was heads up on that play, was able to get back and dive. And looks like Coach McDaniel is going to go ahead and pinch run for him so he can get his equipment on. And that's going to bring up Sawyer Bowman, the DH. Bowman batting 158. Looking to try and pick up an RBI here. Bowman has 8 RBIs on the season. As he digs in, the delivery, ball low. And the count goes to 1-0. If you're just joining us, we're bottom of the second right now, and both teams are scoreless. Both teams have made a few errors here and there, but on offense. And a swing and a miss on a curveball, and that's what we're talking about. Heister pulls up off the fastball initially and throws the curve, and significant difference in the speed and good motion on the ball too. Sawyer pulls out here and digs back in. We're ready to resume play. Heister comes set from the stretch and delivers another curveball. And I guess outside, ball two, is Bowman's able to hold off. And the appeal was thrown out there, but they said he didn't go, and the count goes to 2-1 with 2 outs. Sawyer a little ahead of the count here. Needs to look for something he can drive to the right side. He gets it right up in the air, straight to center field as that ball hangs up there. And it is caught by the center fielder to end the inning, and that'll take us to the third. So with 2 men on initially and no outs, St. John leaves one stranded and can't seem to convert. Going to the top of the third, score is 0-0 as Desoto Dragons in the bottom of the lineup come to bat. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, top of the third here, as Desoto is going to come to the plate. Number 8 batter, Braxton Drummond, the left fielder, is going to come to the plate for Desoto. Other shout-outs for St. John. St. John had 2 seniors, Chloe Staffen and Ava Huber. They signed a national letter of intent to compete at the softball level at the St. Charles Community College this year. So we got 2 teammates who will stay teammates going into JUCO together, at least next year for 1 year, as they further their athletic and academic career. And that's a long fly ball to center field by Drummond, and it's caught, out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 down. And that brings up Brenton Drummond, the right fielder. So it looks like they're twins. One's in left and one's in right. So Brenton digs in number 9 spot, fouls away the first curveball by Ferrano, and the count goes to 0-1, 1 out. So pretty cool setup there by having 2 players from the same team going to play somewhere else together. Strike 2 by Ferranto as he delivers a fastball, and the count goes to 0-2 with 1 out. Ferranto looking to roll him a chair here. The delivery had him guessing, just missed the outside half. Count goes to 1-2. So the number 9 batter up for Desoto takes another ball, and the count goes even, 2-2 with 1 out. St. John's defense has been doing pretty well today as Ferrano delivers, and the ball's fouled off into the parking lot, and we stay even at 2 as Brenton Drummond battles Luke Ferrano. Ferrano delivers, curveball on the outside half, just misses, and fans aren't happy about that. And the count goes to full as Ferrano kind of dialed up a pretty good pitch there. And that'll bring up full, and the delivery. That ball's hit right up the middle for a base hit. So after battling there, Drummond gets on with 1 out for Desoto, and Desoto's got something going here. That brings up leadoff number 6, Blake Coleman, the first baseman. Good opportunity for the lefty here if he can pull one to the right side. St. John looking to kind of get a double play here with the third baseman in case he bunts. And the delivery, ball outside. And Desoto not going to be aggressive with bunting here. They're going to let the leadoff swing away. Snap throw real quick to Ferrano to first. Nothing there, more of a just look, I'm checking you out, keep you close. As he goes to the stretch, Ferrano checks the batter, and the delivery, the batter goes, ball's up, and Bosler has him, and the throw is just off. So they had the right call. They just didn't execute well enough, and that's a stolen base. So pretty quick run there by Drummond, who's got a little bit of speed to him, and give him credit on that stolen base. So with a man on second, the lefty batter just has to pull the ball, and he tries, but he hits it into left center. It's kind of trailing. Caught by the left fielder, thrown in real quick, and he's going to stay on second base. So great job by Ferrano getting him to pop up there as the ball was caught by Sutton. Sutton gets it in real quick, and that brings up the number 2 hitter, Trey Blair, the DH. So Desoto with 2 outs and a man on second trying to do something here, and fouls that one back, and he starts off 0-1. So a little bit sun poking in and out here at the ballpark today as we got some cloudiness here. Pretty good weather, about 83, 84. Cools down a little bit when the clouds hit, but overall overcast weather with some wind going straight out. The delivery, nice pitch. Strike 2, sorry. So 0-2 with 2 outs. And Blair's going to have to do something here as he protects the plate. Verano has his choice of what he wants to throw up there and where, and he delivers. And that ball's driven down the line, third, and it was foul, barely. As Verano throws a curveball and doesn't fool Blair at all, and he drills it down the third base line, just misses over the top of the foul line. And so St. John dodges a bullet there. It definitely would have been extra bases. So the count's 0-2 with 2 outs. Luke doesn't have to be too accommodating with his pitch here. The delivery, ball outside, Balzer fakes the throw, and it kind of goes to 1-2 with 2 outs. So St. John looking to defensively try to get themselves out of here with a runner on second. Verano comes set, delivers. That ball's hit off the fist, and whoa, the shortstop makes the catch as he backpedals. As, like I said, the wind's kind of blowing stuff out, and Otten's almost let that ball carry over his head into the outfield, but not doing as he backpedals enough to make the diving catch more dramatic than what it needed to be, and St. John gets out of the inning. We're going to the bottom of the third here. Goose eggs on the board as it is scoreless between both teams. Someone trying to break the ice. We'll be back in a moment. All right, we swing into the bottom of the third here as we see some rain clouds kind of moving around. But the breeze feels nice as the bottom of the order comes to the plate for St. John. So batting for St. John, Maddox Sutton, number 7, or I should say number 3, the left fielder. Sutton batting 192 right now for the Dragons, looking to try and get on here as a leadoff. The delivery, curveball, first pitch strike. So Heister still in control here for the Desoto Dragons as he gets ahead of the count, 0-1 with no outs. From the windup, ball in the dirt, and the count goes back to even, 1-1. So Sutton doesn't walk much. He's only got 4 on the season. And a curveball strike as he doesn't hold the bat back. So count goes to 1-2 as he gets fooled on the curveball. Sutton kind of stands in front of the plate a little bit towards the pitcher. And that ball's a curveball hit down low. Third baseman comes up hard and throws Sutton out. Great job by him. And that's out number 1. So Sutton sitting on the curveball, hits it well to third base, but not well enough. And that's going to bring Devin Fly to the plate. The senior, Fly right now doesn't even have an average. He is batting 0 on the season and looking to try and get his first hit of the season. Off-speed pitch to Fly. Fly, number 9 hitter. Hitting against DeSoto's Connor Heister. Heister from the windup. The delivery. Curveball swung on and missed. And the count goes to 0-2 with 1 out. St. John getting close to being at the top of their lineup again with Willett on deck. Heister throws the ball low. And Devin lays off. Count goes to 1-2 with 1 out. St. John looking for a base runner here, trying to get one. As Fly tries to get his first hit of the year. Heister delivers, and that's strike 3, belt high. And down goes Fly for out number 2. So Heister doing pretty well on control here. And that brings up Noah Willett, the leadoff at the beginning of the game. Number 1 hitter. Willett trying to get on here. Willett has a little speed. If he can get on, might be able to lug something out. The delivery, curveball, and that's strike number 1. So Heister's got a pretty good movement on his ball. To a right-handed hitter, looks like it's coming right at you. Just digs right in there. Throws it again for strike 2. And Noah's in the hole, 0-2 with 2 outs. He's up pretty far in the plate. Heister rears back, sends a semi-fastball up. Noah drills it into the dirt, and a bad throw by the first baseman, or the third baseman, as it's kind of a swinging drilled ball into the ground. Takes an odd hop. Third baseman has to get to it and has to throw it on the run. Lets it go a little high, and it tips off the glove of the first baseman, and that'll be a runner for St. John and an error for Desoto with 2 outs. And that brings up number 2, Eaton Otten's. Otten's batting .240 right now, looking to try and drill something here and get on. So St. John has something going on with 2 outs as they try to make a late 2-out rally. And strike 1. So Oddens takes one belt high, and the 0-1 count. And the delivery, off-speed pitch on the outside half. Count goes even 1-1 with 2 outs. Heister comes set, checks the runner, delivers. Ball up and in. Might have actually been able to take that on the chin, but he doesn't, and that's going to go to count. It's going to go 2-1 with 1 out. Runner on first. Both teams still scoreless. Somebody's trying to crack the scoreboard here and score the first run. Will it away. Quick snap back. Safe. As Heister not allowing him to get too far away. Although Willett comes back with a little bit more of a lead again, and Heister's checking him out. He comes set and delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled by Ottens, and the count goes to 2-2 with 2 outs. So with deuces wild, we'll see what Heister comes up with. Counts even. Willett comes away here. Heister takes a look at him. Comes to the plate, throws another curveball. That's hit up in the air to center field, hangs up there, and easy pickings for them, and that's out number 3 as the Desoto Dragons finish the inning. So we go to the top of the 4th. Both teams scoreless. Top of the lineup for Desoto as we're starting to get into the middle innings. Nobody's been able to come close. We'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back at the top of the 4th here as the Desoto Dragons come to plate. Leadoff, Connor Heister, the pitcher, who last time up drilled a double off the fence. Trying to help his own cause here as he's the leadoff for the Desoto Dragons. So just throw a couple congrats out here for a couple seniors of the graduating class. This year's congrats to the salutatorian, Ansley McClard, and the valedictorian, Ava Greer. Great job academically for you guys. and a wonderful 4 years in school for you guys and good representation. Hopefully, we wish you the best as you move on to bigger and better things, of course. So that brings up Heister, the pitcher for DeSoto. The delivery by Ferrano, and that ball's hit straight up in the air. Ferrano's under it, but first baseman calls him off Bennett. Bennett takes it himself and catches it for out number 1. So no repeat from last time he was up, and that's 1 up, 1 down, 1 pitch. That brings up the number 4 batter, Brendan Young. Young, the center fielder.
Center fielder number 10, Brendan Young.
Young steps to the plate here with 1 out, top of the 4th, looking to try and help things out for his team, get a lead off. Ferrano delivers. That ball's hit straight up in the air again. And looks like Ferrano calls this one and makes the catch, and that's out number 2. And 1 pitch, 1 swing, and 2 outs. So on 2 pitches, Ferrano has 2 outs, and that brings up number 5, William Weber. Weber, the second baseman. So Weber trying to get on here for DeSoto with a 2-out rally of some kind. St. John has other things in mind as Ferrano from the windup delivers a curveball inside, ball 1. I definitely know a lot of batters that I've played with that have no problem with a curveball inside, taking it into the hip or the shoulder on accident, quote unquote, to be hit by a pitch. But you have to act pretty surprised by it, like you're getting out of the way. They also had a lot of bruises, too. The count goes to 1-1 with 2 outs. The delivery by Ferrano, ball up. Count goes to 2-1. So if you're out there and you need something to do, come on out to the ballpark. Lots of people out here right now. Hot dogs, soda pop. And great play as shortstop comes up huge on a line drive, ball hit. And Ottens is able to come up and snag that one, and that's out number 3. Well, that's going to take us down to the bottom of the 4th here, as both teams still scoreless. As St. John's, top of the lineup, tries to heat up and find a way to get some runners and some scores here. We'll be back in a moment. All right, starting back here, top of the 4th. We can give a shout out to Mr. Russ Toombs of St. Genevieve. He's our high school counselor. He was awarded the Mentor Legacy Award from the Chamber of Commerce at the Chamber's Centennial Annual Gala this year. The award recognizes individuals who've made a lasting impact on others through mentorship and guidance. Toombs has over 30 years of experience in education. Congrats, Mr. Toombs, on that award. Well deserved. As anybody who's gone to St. John and has had to deal with him in the counseling, they know that they got a good guy. So Ferrano steps to the plate here to lead off the 4th, and first pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Ferrano looking to lead on. St. John's best hitter right now. But what they need is a base runner. We'll see if Heister has anything to say about that as he goes for the windup. The delivery, fastball in the dirt again. Overextending here. And the count goes 2-0. So Ferrano has a really good chance of getting a good pitch to swing at if he wants it. As he digs in, the delivery, strike. Ball right down the middle. Count goes to 2-1. So with no outs, count 2-1. St. John needing a base runner. Ferrano drills one to center field. It's going to hold up, though, and caught by the center fielder. Ball just hung up there, and that's out number 1. So he gets a good swing at it. Hits the ball hard, but looks like the wind's shifting a little bit. And that ball just hung up there for the center fielder to shag it down, and that's out number 1. That's going to bring up Jacob Schweigert. Schweigert getting on last inning, batting 208. The delivery, and just missed. Count goes to 1-0. Jacob got a base hit into left field. Nice little squib. See if he can replicate here as he takes a big hack at that pitch, and the count goes to 1-1 with 1 out. St. John needing a base runner here, and they'll manufacture it any way they can get it. The delivery, curveball, strike, and the count goes to even, 2-2. Schweigert did not like that call by the umpire. So with a count even, 2-2, he's going to have to protect the plate here. From the windup, the ball just misses belt high. Jacob, a pretty free swinger, but he usually makes contact. He's a possession hitter. And curveball, and that's a full count. So with the count 3-2 with 1 out, something's got to give. The delivery, and that ball's fouled off. Coach McDaniel taking a little flack because he's not able to shag that down without a glove. And Heister, the pitcher from the windup, sitting in, looking for the pitch here. He gets it. See what he goes with. Curveball up high and gets him looking. And that's it for Jake as he rolls him a chair, and out number 2. That brings up number 14, Isaiah Bosler. Bosler had a base hit last time up into center, right center. And Bosler looking to try and get on for St. John with 2 outs. Heister doing a pretty good job for Desoto, keeping base runners off the path. And starts off with a curveball inside, ball 1. As the wind continues to blow and the clouds move in and out of the sun, Heister from the windup delivers. That ball's outside, counts 2-0. So Bosler gets exactly what he wants right now. A 2-0 count, something he can sit on. He just has to take a cut at it. And he does, and he drives it to right field, but right at the right fielder who doesn't even have to move, and it out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for St. John as we go into the top of the 5th. Goose eggs on the board all the way around as both teams looking to try and get base runners as they're struggling to get them on, as it is a defensive game right now. We go into the top of the 5th. The score is 0-0. We'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome to the top of the fifth in a scoreless game. St. Gen and Desoto Dragons are battling each other right now. Little highlight here for St. Genevieve. As a community right now, we've reached a pretty big milestone for our kiddos. More than $100,000 in local scholarships were awarded this year to our high school seniors. Pretty impressive stuff. It's a pretty incredible support. It reflects the generosity of our local businesses, our organizations, families. A lot of strong blood between our school and community. And just a shout out to St. Gen and all, and what they've done and what they've been able to contribute to our senior class as they go on to bigger and better things. And first pitch is drilled off the wall in left field, and the left fielder is down. I don't know what's happened. He can't even move as the center fielder gets there and gets the ball in. And I'm not quite sure what's happening, but first pitch was driven deep into left field, and it would hit directly off the fence. The left fielder was almost right there, and then looked like he got his foot or something stuck under the fence and just stopped moving altogether. Coaches are on their way out. Check him out as we got an injury update, and we'll be back to see if he's okay. Be back in a moment. All right, so we're back after the injury scare here as St. Gen left field. Maddox Sutton going for a fly ball, deep fly ball off the fence, and kind of runs into the fence and gets his ankle jammed underneath it and just goes down. And that was it. Runner goes to second. And that's a leadoff double for DeSoto, who has something going here with no outs. And a little break in between, which could be good or bad for St. Gen. I don't know. We'll see how DeSoto responds to it. As Ferrano's still on the mound here. And that brings up number 7, Connor Casey, the number 7 batter, shortstop. So right now you'd think he might bunt with a man on third just as a precaution, and he does show it. He gets it down first base line, foul, and that's strike one. So DeSoto trying to do it right here with a man on second and no out, sacrifice him over to third and let the chips fall where they may over the next two batters with contact, hopefully. So St. Gen kind of talking it over here defensively on what they're going to do on this should the runner get the ball down, and possibly a snapback throw to second base if necessary. Catch the runner off guard. So Ferrano's hitting 0-1 right now with the batter Connor Casey, the shortstop. He shows bunt again, and a quick snap back to second. No show there, and he's safe. And St. Gen's going to have to figure it out here with an 0-1 count. He's going to show bunt again. He shows it. He gets it off. Perfect bunt down third base line. And that's going to be a base hit as Ferrano comes up with the ball and kind of muffles it. Really, it should have been the third baseman's ball to get because he's got his momentum going forward as Ferrano's momentum was going to third. And now St. Gen has runners at first, or I should say DeSoto has runners at first and third with no outs. And that brings up the number 8 hitter, Braxton Drummond, the left fielder. So Drummond struck out last at bat. Let's see what happens here. Ferrano delivers. Runner goes. Quick snap by Bosler. Cut off by the second baseman, Trenton Warner. And now with runners in second and third, they are primed to score with no outs as Drummond looks to try and push the ball to the right side on a count 1-0. He drills the ball to right center, and that's going to be extra bases. And it's a 2 RBI double by Braxton Drummond. And looks like Desoto strikes first with 2 runs in the top of the 5th inning as we get a few raindrops here.
Now at play for Desoto, right fielder number 4, Brenton Drummond.
And now Brenton Drummond, the number 9 batter, right fielder who had a base hit last up, comes to the plate. And he takes a strike. So still with no outs and a runner on second, Desoto in good spot to maybe get another run here with Braxton on second base. And that ball's tipped over into the right side, caught by Warner. Great job by the second baseman to track that down and keep the runner at second. It looked like he might have had a chance to poke it and push it just a little bit over his head, but great job by the freshman tracking it. And that's going to bring up their leadoff, Blake Coleman, the lefty. Coleman popped up last time up. So St. John now in the hole, down 2-0 with 1 out, man on second. Ferrano brings a fastball outside, ball 1. So the count goes to 1-0 with 1 out. And the leadoff, Blake Coleman, at the plate. Ferrano comes set and delivers. Curveball off speed, gets him to swing and miss, or swing and foul it off anyway. Count goes to 1-1 with 1 out. So Ferrano trying to battle back here. 1-1, top of the 5th. He delivers. Curveball, hit right up the middle, and they're going to send the runner. There's going to be a play at the plate maybe, and cut off, and that's going to be extra base for the hitter as they just switch bases. And that's another run as Braxton Drummond scores from second, and Blake Coleman takes his place at second, still 1 out. And that's going to call a timeout by Coach McDaniel, who's going to talk it over with the pitcher and see what's what here in the top of the 5th. You know, looking at our baseball and softball team this year, hats off to the softball Dragons. They finished 3rd place in the MAAA conference tournament with a 10-0 win over Valley and was able to come away with that this year. St. John's baseball team beat Fredericktown to clinch the large school MAAA conference championship, so hats off to them also for both getting a few accolades here during the season, getting closer to the end. And the conference is over as Desoto having a lot of momentum here. Still has a runner at second with 1 out. They're up 3-0 as they've been crushing the ball this inning. And the ball, Bosler sends one to second base, and Warner almost didn't get there in time. He almost sent that into center field on a snap throw. And I guess there was a little communication issue between the second baseman and the catcher on that one. As Ferrano back on the mound here from the stretch. Comes set, checks the runner, delivers. Ball low and another snap. And this time Warner's there and then puts a little tag on him. A lot closer than what I'm sure they wanted it to be, but he was safe. Great job by Isaiah. And the count goes to 2-0 here as Ferrano comes set. The delivery, and the runner goes, and he's going to almost slide off the base and get caught, but stolen base. As Coach McDaniel is going to talk it over. He's appealing to the third base coach. Did he slide off the base with the tag still on him? And they're going to talk it over here and see what's what. But it looks like Coleman, the runner, basically, that's going to be a stolen base for him as he steals third, and there's just one out. Counts 2-1. As the number 2 hitter, Trey Blair's at the plate. He's the DH right now. All Blair needs to do is tag one into the outfield for an RBI, the delivery, and a swing and miss, and the count goes back to 2-2. So with deuces on the board, Desoto's knocking on another RBI here. From the windup, Ferrano throws one up and out, and another snap throw to Bosler to Schwagert. I don't think they were on the same page there. He was able to knock it down. So with full count, one out, the delivery. That ball's hit up in the air to the infield. And Bennett's going to call off the second baseman, make the catch. And that's going to be out number 2. And that brings up the pitcher, Connor Heister. Heister 1 for 2 today. He had a line drive off the left center fence in his first appearance at the plate, and then popped it up the second time. So Heister could help himself out here if he can place a base hit. As Ferrano goes from the windup, throws a curveball low, and the count goes 1-0. So 2 outs here as Ferrano tries to dig himself out of a mess. The delivery, and that ball's drilled into right center, and it may fall. And what a catch by Devin Fly as he tracks that ball down on the run. So great catch by Devin. Good defensive play there to end the inning. But not before the damage is done, as Desoto strikes first at the top of the 5th, scoring 3 runs and breaking the ice on the board. And that takes us to the bottom of the 5th as St. John, desperate need to try and start getting some runners on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. St. John down 3-0. All right, we'll return back to the bottom of the 5th here. St. John down by 3. Looking to try and get something started as the pitcher for DeSoto, Connor Heister, throwing a shutout right now. Throwing in some of the awards that were given the other night at graduation. There were 2 boys and 2 girls in the senior class that were awarded, they were voted on, I should say, by the entire high school teaching staff. And they will represent basically the outstanding characteristics such as character, leadership, citizenship, and scholarship. And so 2 of them, the recipients for the 2025 Danforth I Dare You Awards, went to Sophia Fritsch and Shay Coleman. And then the 2 recipients for the 2025 Outstanding Senior Girl and Senior Boy Award was Ava Greer and Charles Corbett. So congratulations to those seniors for their wins the other night on their voting by the teachers. the educators anyway, over the last 4 years, watching them grow in our system and reaping the rewards there. That brings us to the top of the fifth here, or bottom of the fifth, as St. John looking to try and get some runs here and get back in it, are desperately struggling for base runners right now. And the only time they had it was in one inning where they had the two leadoffs get back-to-back hits, and they had first and second with no outs and ended up kind of fuddling that up on the run, missing bunt, and then just weren't able to contain or get a run out of it. So that's going to bring up for St. John, number 30, Eli Bennett. Bennett looking to try and get on. Pretty effective. He'll find a way if there is one. He'll take a walk. He'll take a hit.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth inning for St. Genevieve, first baseman number 30, Eli Bennett.
So Bennett digs in. Counts 0-0 with no outs. As Heister, the pitcher for Desoto right now, pitching a beauty. From the windup, delivers. Nice little curveball. Swung on and smacked by Bennett straight to the third baseman. Easily fielded. Nice, easy throw, and out number one. One pitch, one down. And that brings up Bowman. So Sawyer Bowman comes to the plate. He's a DH here for St. John. Sawyer looking to try and get on somehow, as first pitch is low and in the dirt. St. John struggling offensively right now to put the ball in play here. Curveball up, strike one, and the count goes to 1-1 with one out. Not exactly the pitch you want to swing at anyway on a 1-0 pitch. Bowman digs in here and swings at a curveball way in front of the plate. Had him fooled completely, and Bowman is just very frustrated with himself right now. And the count goes to 1-2 with one out. So Bowman, the number 7 hitter. Gripping the bat pretty hard, digs in, and that ball's half swing chip shot, foul. As he stays alive, count goes 1-2 with one out, nobody on. St. John desperate for a runner. Will Bowman be the answer? We'll find out from the pitch, and that ball froze him. Looked like it was low and outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So Sawyer stares down Heister as he delivers, and that's strike 3 as he takes that one knee high, and that's strikeout number 2 there for Heister with 2 outs and nobody on. That brings up the number 8 hitter, Sutton. So Maddox Sutton, after a scary possibility of an injury out there in left field, finds himself at the plate here with 2 outs. Facing Heister, hadn't thrown that many pitches really. And a swing and a miss, fastball, first pitch, fouled off, strike 1. Heister's been pretty solid about getting ahead of the count. And he's been able to throw just a couple pitches and get the Dragons to either hit it up in the air or hit it right to one of his players. And that's pitch number 2, fouled off, out of play on the left side. And the count goes to 0-2. So in the hole here with 2 outs and nobody on, St. John, their opportunities are starting to dwindle as there's 7 total outs left for them. Heister from the windup delivers, curveball, strike 3, had him guessing, and that's it for him. And that's going to take us in the top of the 6th as St. John's bats just fall short. Going into the top of the 6th, Desoto Dragons on top, 3-0 and in command as they go to try and advance their score a little bit. We'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome back. Top of the 6th here is the Desoto Dragons are going to come to the plate. Dragons ahead 3-0 here. Another quick shout out to some recipients that won just recently. We had 2 recipients for the 2025 Instrumental and Vocal Music Awards for our program here at St. John. John Philip Souza Award went to Lucy Sears, and the National Choral Award went to Damian Dickerson. So congratulations to those 2 in the arts and their success this year for St. John in 2025. I should say the spring of 2025. That brings up number 10, Brendan Young. Young takes the first ball strike. Young, the center fielder, looking to get on here. He takes a ball there. And Noah Willett on the mound right now. Replaces Ferranto. Gets a ground ball back to him. Is able to throw him out. Pretty weird situation. He sends one. The ball comes right back at him, and he hits the ball and catches his hat at the same time. Can't figure out which one he needs to do. He drops his hat, flags the ball down, and throws out the runner. So out number 1 for Noah. And that's going to bring up William Weber, the second baseman. Number 5 hitter here as Willett goes into action. Willett mostly a fastball pitcher here. As he's having clothing malfunctions with his hat. Delivers the next one, and that ball's hit up in the air. And Fly tracks it down. Initially went back on it and had to come up as it didn't go as far as he thought, but he flags it down anyway, and that's out number 2. And that brings up number 2, the third baseman, Remington Hogan, this number 6 batter. So Remington looking to try and get on here for DeSoto at the top of the 6th with 2 outs. St. John trying to get back in here. As the first pitch, fastball fouled straight back, strike 1. So Noah wasting no time going after the batters quick. Just a series of fastballs. And he's got a little more pepper on the ball than Ferrano does, which is probably a different look for these guys. And the delivery, outside and low, ball 1. Count goes to 1-1 with 2 outs. Swung on a miss, strike 2. So Willett having a pretty decent season overall. His ERA's 1.05, and he gets him to swing and foul that one off. And the count's 1-2. He's got 11 strikeouts on the season and 18 walks. Willett from the windup delivers. Ball outside, count goes back to even as he continues to struggle with his hat. You have to tighten that band or cut his hair. Either way, the count goes to deuces in the delivery. That ball swung on and missed up high, and we're out of the inning. And so St. John has 3 hitters up, and they take a quick seat to the new pitcher, Noah Willett, and we're going to go down to the bottom of the 6th right now as St. John trails 3-0 as we're down to the last 6 outs. Tune in with us. We'll be back in a moment. So welcome back To the bottom of the 6th here, St. John trails 3-0, and DeSoto's going to go with Heister, their starting pitcher. See how much mileage I can get out of them today. Going back to our athletic awards for St. John this year, for outstanding athletic award for our 2 recipients for the seniors, we had 1 female and 1 male that represents our school, usually a 3-sport athlete. Academics, I mean, they embody what we want from our students, or the best of the best anyway, is extracurricular, and they put themselves out there. And in the athletic side, the Armella Peterson Award for Outstanding Senior Female Athlete was Holland Zangaro, and the Mal Kimmel Award for Outstanding Senior Male Athlete was our own Jacob Schweigert. Schweigert playing right now, as Devin Fly is up at the plate. And the count's 0-1 right now. He takes the ball outside. Count goes to 1-1. So Fly looking for his first hit of his career this year as he digs in. And the delivery. And he fouls that one off. Count goes to 1-2. Fly, the number 9 hitter. So St. John looking to try and get back up to the top of the order, as it's been mostly 1, 2, and 3 and then gone, as they haven't put too much in play. The delivery, ball low, count goes to 2-2. Fly tries to work the count. St. John needing a lead off. They need somebody on base to help them here. Heister does not want that as he delivers, and that's strike 3. Got them looking, and that's out number 1 for DeSoto there, as Heister pitching a shutout right now. He's given up a marginal amount of hits and hasn't really been in trouble except for the 2nd inning. That brings up Noah Willett. Willett now the starting pitcher. Moved from center field in and takes a first pitch curve for a strike. So the count goes to 0-1 with 1 out. St. John down to their last 5 outs. Heister from the windup, pitching a beauty right now. Delivers another curveball, fouled off by Willett. Will it stay off the fence? And that's strike 2. So the count goes 0-2 with 1 out. Heister in command. Not having to throw as many pitches as one would think. So he's grooving them in there and letting his defense kind of do the rest for him. So Heister comes set for the mound. He's in the windup in the delivery. And that ball is hit to the right side. It's not going to stay in as it's out on top of the cage, batting cage anyway. And the count stays at 0-2 with 1 out. Desoto Dragons leading 3-0 as they come in with a 500 record. Heister from the windup and hit off the hands. It's going to stay in. First baseman's got it, and that's out number 2. So St. John down to their last 4 outs as that brings top of the order as Eaton Ottens, the number 2 hitter, comes up.
Now to play second baseman number 29, Ethan Ottens.
So Ethan, 3rd time up here, looking to try and get on as a leadoff. Ball low. And the bats have been pretty silent for St. John today. Heister delivers on the outside half, nothing there. Count goes to 2-0 as Ethan works the count, looking to try and get on here and give Ferrano a chance to hit him in. Ferrano on deck. The delivery, strike 1. So a good pitch by Heister, not letting the count get too far out of whack as he goes 2-1 with 2 outs. Ethan looking here. Curveball again, same spot, strike 2. So St. John definitely been dialed up a lot of curveballs at the plate today and haven't been able to make the adjustment off of it. As deuces are wild on the board here. And the pitch, and curveball on the outside half. Ottens almost chases, but he holds off, and that count goes to full. So mud, blood, or flood, something's got to happen here on this pitch. As Siemens from the windup delivers, and the ball's in the dirt, and that's going to be a walk, and St. John has a runner on. So to the plate now is number 16, Luke Ferrano. Again, batting .361 today. With a man up first, St. John looking to try and manufacture some runs this inning. 2 outs, though, so they've got to be crackerjack timing. The delivery, that ball's low as Seaman comes off the mound here. Didn't like that call, really. Ottens leads away, and a snap back throw, safe at first. So Seaman's just wanting Ethan to know he knows he's there. Keeping him semi-close. He comes set here. And the delivery. And that ball must have been outside. Belt high. So the count goes to 2-0 with 2 outs here. And it's in Ferrano's favor if he can get a good crack at this. And drive it somewhere. Pitcher comes set and delivers. Curveball, strike 1. Schwaggart on deck. The delivery, ball up, and that counts 3-1 with 2 outs. And the count is in Luke's favor here. He should be sitting on a fastball. Justin comes up next. Outstanding senior male athlete. Ottens leads away. And the delivery, ball's up, and that's another walk. So 2 back-to-back walks by Heister. And that's going to call the coach out. And there's going to be a meeting, so we're going to see what the coach does here. As St. John has 2 men on, the tying run at the plate. And Heister, who's pitched really well, is just, these last 2 batters just not been able to find the zone. I know he's a little frustrated. Some of those pitches look pretty close, but in the end, they were not called, and here we are. That brings up Jake. Jake batting .208 right now, but it usually puts the ball in somewhere with men on. Good contact hitter with ducks on the pond. Might be able to pull off a miracle here. Put the ball in play and get some momentum and maybe some energy into this team. Seems pretty lethargic right now. So Heister comes set on the mound. And the delivery. And a swing and foul. Not happy with the pitch that he swung at, really. As it was a curveball. Count goes to 0-1 with 2 outs as the men lead away. And time is running out on the St. Genevieve Dragons here as they're looking to try and score. The pitch, fastball, outside, ball 1. So 1-1 count. Good location, knee high. Just not over the plate. As both runners lead away here. St. John tempting fate as Jake settles in. And that ball's low. Good job by the catcher keeping it in front, keeping the runners from advancing. And the count goes to 2-1 with 2 outs. So St. John knocking on the door here, looking to try and manufacture something. Right now, it's his best option. Jake on a 2-1 count with a tired pitcher. Swings away, foul. And if you're going to put anybody away right now, it's the time. As Desoto has a pitcher warming up over in the bullpen. I'm pretty sure he won't be hesitant to pull him if he gets in trouble after this batter. So Heister comes set, delivers. The ball's high and outside, and it goes to full. So with 3-2 count, 2 outs, runners are going to take off on the pitch here by the pitcher. See what Jake does. He's got to really dig in here. And the delivery. Ball's high, and bases are juiced. And that brings up Isaiah Bosler, the catcher. And that's all for Heister, who up until these 3 back-to-back walks pitched a beauty. As right now he's thrown goose egg as a shutout, and that's going to bring in a new pitcher. And that's it for Heister. It looks like it's going to be number 9, Ponset. Don't have a first name for him. But Ponset's going to try and come in and shut things down as he throws a few around. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. As DeSoto's new pitcher comes in here, Ponset, number 9, trying to throw a chair here for Isaiah Bosler. Bosler now, with bases juiced and 2 outs, has a great opportunity here to put St. John in a opportunity to be competitive. With the count 0-0 with 2 outs, bases juiced, Ponset delivers first pitch, up and out, ball 1. So Bosler already sitting pretty here, can sit on something. Definitely a different type of pitcher. He throws a little more straight stuff, and the delivery, and that ball on the inside half catches the corner, and the call 1-1 with 2 outs. So Bosler, 2 straight fastballs, 1-1, and he's not fooling around here with the bases juiced. Let's see what they give him. Ponset comes set, delivers another fastball, and that's strike 2, bell high. And so Bosler falls behind 1-2 with 2 outs. Can't afford to sit back now. As Ponset checking out the signs, hasn't seen a curveball yet. The delivery, and that ball's fast outside. Count goes to 2-2. So Deuces Wild on the board. St. John trailing by 3. This is the best opportunity they've had since the 2nd inning when they had 2 men on to start off the inning. Bosler digs in, and that ball's up, and it's going to go to full count here. So as the intensity of the situation continues, bases juiced, 3 straight walks, and now a 3-2 count with 2 outs. St. John trailing by 3. Bosler looking to be a hero, digs in, and that ball's outside, and that'll be a run and an RBI walk. And St. John's on the board, so St. John taking it any way they can get it, and that brings up Sawyer. So Sawyer Bowman comes to the plate here. Or I'm sorry, Eli Bennett. Sorry, Sawyer's on deck. So Bennett, a free swinger, puts a ball in play 2 outs, bases juiced. Looking to pick up a couple RBIs as the tying run on second. The delivery, ball up. And pitching for Desoto, struggling to find the zone here and get ahead. So with a count 1-0, Bennett looking to sit on a fastball, might be able to drive something here somewhere, anywhere in the gap. A lot of room over there in left field. The delivery, and that ball swung on and missed. Fastball, belt high, just where he wanted it. And the count goes even, 1-1 with 2 outs. Right now, the go-ahead run is at first. Pitcher comes set, and delivery, ball outside, 2-1. Or I'm sorry, 2-2. I should say 1-2. At least that's what the scoreboard says. So with 2 outs, upon set comes set. He has the sign, delivers, and fouled off as Bennett stays alive. So a little bit more excitement from the crowd here as things are heating up here in the bottom of the 6th. St. John down to their last 4 outs, 1 left in this one. Bonset comes set. The delivery. Curveball got him looking. A strikeout. And he sits Bennett down. And St. John will go to the top of the 7th, but not before scoring at least 1 run as DeSoto manages to squeak out of a serious situation there with bases juiced. And that brings the top of the 7th coming up. Last inning for both teams as DeSoto goes to the plate against Noah Willett, who was brought in to replace Luke Ferrano, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, and that brings us to the top of the 7th. Welcome back as St. John trails 3-1 as they miss out on a great opportunity last inning, leaving the bases juiced. As DeSoto looks to try and extend their lead. So a little information for you out there. If you got a kiddo who is a sophomore or going to be a sophomore and going to be a junior or senior who need personal finance here at St. Genevieve, Mr. Brock Kreitler is offering that class at the high school first 3 weeks after school's out. They want to get it out of their system. Instead of having to take it for a semester at regular school, they can knock it off their plate. Sign-ups are available right now. If you call the school and get your kiddo going, it's definitely worth the opportunity. And that brings up number 7, Connor Casey, shortstop for DeSoto, as he drives one to left field, but it ends up foul, and it counts 0-1 and pitches up back to 1-1 as Willett goes to work here. Noah from the windup delivers, fouled off, and the count goes to 1-2. No outs, top of the 7th. St. Genevieve trails by 2. The delivery, and ball up. Count goes to even, 2-2. So St. John's academic season winds down this week as they have regular classes, and then next week we're going into testing mode for our finals to end on next Friday, and another school year in the books as Willett walks the leadoff to start the inning.
Drummond.
So Drummond, Braxton Drummond, number 8 hitter, left fielder, looking to try and help his cause here by getting the runner over. He shows bunt, ball's up, as Desoto trying to sacrifice him over and hopefully get a base hit. Drummond digs in, shows the bunt, misses. The runner stays put this time, so no go there. Isaiah Bosler would have no doubt slung the ball down there. And the count goes to 1-1 with no outs. Corner it in. He shows bunt again, and he nails the corner, and that's strike 2. So the count's 1-2 with no outs. And we'll see if the coach forces the batter to try and put it down or have him swing away here. Runner leads away. Noah brings it in. Oh, and it off the glove, and it's a passed ball, and that's going to be an error on the catcher as the runner advances to second with no out. So even though he didn't bunt it, it's like he did, and here we go. If he could put this ball into play to the right side and get him over to third base, he will have done his job. So the count goes to 2-2 with no outs, as Braxton Drummond looks to put the ball in play here. The delivery, ball up, and the count goes to full as Willett struggles a little bit. His hat keeps flying off. So with the count 3-2, nobody down, runner on second. The delivery, and ball up, and that's a walk. And Willett showing signs of frustration as Bosler calls a timeout, and him and Bennett kind of go over to talk to the sophomore. So we got second and first now with no outs. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Brenton Drummond. Hey, if you're a parent out there, you might want to check your kiddo's attendance this season as we wind down the year in the spring. If your kid has any absences or missed days at school that need to be signed, you have until basically tomorrow to write a note for them, or it could be a reduction in their grade at the end of the year. Might want to check it out on Gradebook. As first pitch is a ball. Counts 1-0 with 0 outs. St. John trailing by 2 with 2 men on. And the number 9 batter showing bunt. He bunts it foul down the third base line, and that's going to be a strike. And the count goes to 1-1. As Desoto's coach trying to get his runners over to give his lefty, who's up next, a chance to pull the ball into right field somewhere and get an RBI. The last thing St. John needs is Desoto scoring another run here. As first base is in, he bunts it, and nice play by Bennett, who throws it to third. Is a tough throw, but Schweigert stretches, knocks it down, and makes the tag, and a force out at third. And that's out number 1. So good execution by St. John, although it was a little dramatic, but it still got the job done, and that brings up number 6, Blake Coleman, the first baseman. With a man at second and first, Coleman comes to the plate. Lefty trying to put the ball in play somewhere. Willett comes set, delivers, and that ball's hit up in the air, and it's going to find a spot. Shortstop comes over, makes the catch. Nobody's at third. Willett gets over there, and the throw's there, and he's out. And that's a double play, so great job by Ottens making that catch. Willett seeing the opportunity, rushing over there. Easy throw, and that's out number 3. And once again, defense serves him well as St. John ends the inning and gets out unscathed. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, last 3 outs, St. John's last chance at something here as the score's 3-1. And we get the bottom of the order for St. John. We'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome back to the bottom of the 7th. St. John trailing 3-1. And Sawyer Bowman takes center stage here at home plate to lead off. As he goes against the relief pitcher here, Ponce for DeSoto. Ponce trying to close out the game with a save. Sawyer trying to break that here, as he needs to be a good leadoff here, try and get on. St. John will take anything. They're not picky right now, as Sawyer sets up in the box. Ponce from the stretch. First pitch delivered, curveball, inside, ball 1. Interesting choice as he starts off, usually the last inning or so, straight fastballs, but he decides to dial one up after seeing Sawyer struggle with it last time. And fastball, Sawyer drills it. And great play by the shortstop as he flags it down and throws him out for out number 1. So Sawyer sends one hard over to the shortstop, but he's able to flag it down and throw him out, and that's out number 1. And that brings up Maddox Sutton. Sutton, the number 8 hitter, looking to try and get on here. So with the count just starting, and there's 1 out on the board, St. John's down to the last 2 outs as Ponce, the pitcher, from the windup delivers a fastball, and strike 1, belt high. Sutton deep in the box here, trying to give himself a chance. Sitting on it. Curveball, he kind of dings one to the shortstop. Easily recovered, and he's out. As Sutton tries to beat out the throw, but no go, and that's out number 2. And it brings up St. John's lone batter here. Fly hitless this season. Still trying to pick up his first one. Be a great time for it with 2 outs, down by 2. Devin gets in there and checks out Ponce, who delivers. Ball inside. Counts 1-0. So Fly on the back foot here. Swing and fouls that one off to the right side. It's going to be foul, and that's strike 1. Count goes to 1-1 with 2 outs. St. John right now 11-8 on the season, about to make it 11-9. And DeSoto, who is tied with a 12-12 record, could actually, with 1 win, go from even to 13-12. Count 2-1 with 2 outs. Ponce, the delivery. Fly hits it up the middle and gets his first hit of the season as he runs through the bases if it's going to be contested. So he's at first base and pretty happy for himself as St. John has a man on with a tying run at home plate right now. That brings up number 23, Noah Willett. Willett hitless today, looking to try and figure it out. Doesn't matter how you begin, it's how you finish. And Noah coming in to replace Ferrano on the mound could pick up a win and be a hero here. With nobody on, Ponce comes set. Fly steps away. Off-speed pitch upstairs, and that's ball 1. So St. John trying to hold on to a little 2-out magic in the bottom of the 7th and make things a little bit dramatic. Ponce comes back around, throws it to first as a snap throw. But Fly's back easy enough. So the count 1-0 here. The pitch, ball low. Count goes to 3-0, or 2-0, I'm sorry. Let's see what Coach McDaniel has dialed up here. I would like to think that he's probably going to have him sit on it until he gets a strike. Fly leads away. The delivery, ball up, and the count goes to 3-0 with 2 outs. Tying run at the plate here with the batter, Noah Willett. Willett sitting on a 3-0 count, no doubt has to take this one. If he doesn't, he'll be running poles tomorrow. And the delivery, and he hits one right up the middle on a 3-0 pitch. Holy cow. So now we've got second and first. And that brings up number 2 batter, Eaton Ottens. So Ottens, the winning run, represents the winning run anyway, right now at home plate with a tying run at first.
Now at the plate for St. John, second baseman number 29, Ethan Ottens.
And so with a man on second and first and 2 outs, St. John is throwing out a lifeline here. Ponce for the windup delivers first pitch high. And the count goes to 1-0. And you can definitely see the coach for Desoto a little nervous. As Willett leads away with nobody holding him on at first. Ponce comes set, delivers, and that ball's low. And the count goes to 2-0 with 2 outs. Ferrano on deck. Ball low again. And on a 3-0 count, Desoto may put Ferrano at the plate, St. John's best hitter, something they probably don't want to do right now. Otten sitting 3-0. Ponce, the pitcher, who came in earlier today, just in the 6th inning for Heister. Heister just went through a walking phase and walked 3 in a row. Ball up, and we got bases juiced again this inning. And with the tying run represented at second and the winning run at first, that brings out a visit from the mound from the coach, as Desoto with 2 outs, feeling a little pinch here. I'm sure the coach is probably just letting them know, hey, relax, we're okay. We just need 1. Keep the ball in front. We got to force out at every base. Just find the zone and let the guys swing. And we'll let the chips fall where they may. And with St. John, they're just going to run. So with Willett, who's got a little bit of speed over there at second, if this ball goes somehow in the gap into the field, there's no doubt, I got a feeling that Coach McDaniel is going to send Willett on a mission to home plate for a tying score. Whether he gets thrown out or not will be irrelevant, as Ferrano digs in with the bases juiced. As the duck's on the pond, Ponce, the pitcher who came in last inning, comes set, delivers, and Ferrano hits one right up high to right field. It's kind of floating and caught, and that's it. So 1 pitch, and Ferrano pops up, and that is it. St. John falls short by 2 runs as they fall to the Desoto Dragons. Desoto Dragons going 13-12 on the season, as St. John goes 11-9. Hats off to the Dragons season, though, as they, again, as we say, you know, they were able to pick up a large school MAAA conference championship this year, and they're going into districts on Friday, and we wish them the best as they go to compete. And then I believe our track team actually goes to state on Saturday, as we had a number of girls and boys qualify for state after districts just recently. And so as our summer or our spring sports start to wind down, we'll bid adieu, and that's it for our sports broadcasting this year, as we'll come back with a new set and fresh cast of characters from the upcoming kids signed up in the fall for football and volleyball going into the season, and we'll see you then. So signing off for the regular season 2025, at least the spring of 2025, and we'll see you next year in the fall.